Welcome back. Today we're covering page 7 in Standard of Excellence. So before we jump in, I want to pay a little bit of attention to the top of the page here in yellow. So they're introducing a new note value to you here. This you may have covered with your instructor already, but just as a quick review, we've been doing whole notes, which take up 4 counts. The half note gets 2 counts. So there are 2 half notes in 1 whole note, right? So 2 half notes make 1 whole measure. Again, you can think of this like math. A whole note gets 4 counts, a half note gets 2, so 2 plus 2 equals 4. And that's how that works together. You also have a half rest that you will see here. You've seen rests before on the previous page. We've seen a whole rest. So to help you differentiate between the two, a whole rest looks like a hole that you can like fall into, whereas a half rest looks like a hat that you can wear on your head. So again, whole rest would get 4 counts, and it looks like a hole that you can fall into. A half rest looks like a hat and gets 2 counts. So let's go here with number 8, which is a breath of fresh air. And as you're getting set up to play that first note, which is a D, make sure that those balance points are all working and that we've got lots of space around the body. If you need reminders about any of this, go back and watch the Getting Started video just to make sure we're on the same page here. So number 8, starting on D and getting a great breath. We've also got breath marks that are coming in, so that's telling you where you should breathe between the notes, okay? So we'll pay attention to those and make sure we're getting breath between every note here, okay? So about 1, 2, ready. To C. B flat. Good. And then maybe you've started talking about using the tongue to articulate notes. So some people call it tonguing, some people call it articulation, but all that means is how we separate the notes. So when I'm playing, I like to think of saying do. So I'm already in the oo shape, right? And then I just use a D tongue at the front of the mouth. So it's like do, do, do. And then we can separate the notes that way. So your airstream is constant. We're just using that articulation to interrupt slightly. All right, so let's keep that in mind as we do number 9, which is side by side. I'm going to continue saying the notes before I switch during the rest, but pay attention to if you're going by step or if you're skipping to the notes. So we're starting on a D for number 9. So 1, 2, breathe. Stay on C. Back to C. All right, so nice and easy with that. Now 2 by 2, which is number 10, same thing. Make sure you're paying attention to where you're jumping and then get those great breaths. So through all of this, I'm staying nice and tall. My feet are flat on the ground, just so I really get support. If you need to move forward toward the edge of your chair, I would encourage that. That gives you a little bit more room just to be able to breathe fully, since our back does actually expand when we breathe. So let's try number 10, starting on a C. So good breath here. 2, ready. Stay on D. And D again. Good. So number 11 then brings us to our new note, the half note. So remember, instead of getting 4 beats, these each get 2 beats apiece. Again, this is repeated notes here, so the air stays constant and we're just separating with that do tongue. So it'll sound like this. Okay, so let's try number 11, starting on D. 1, 2, right. C. B flat. Good. And you'll notice in that particular one, it says that that repeated B is also a B flat. And this is something that you will keep talking about throughout your career. The B flat, if it's marked once in the measure, it carries through to every other note that is also that same note. So if you see a B flat once, then the next B that you see will also be a B flat unless they mark it differently. Okay? All right, so let's go on to number 12 here, which is going to combine B flat, C, and D in one melody, okay? So B flat, C, D, about this tempo. 1, 2, 1, 2, good breath. Good, so that's number 12. And then again, there are supplementary exercises on page 39. So let's look at those. Again, set your flute down on a safe, hard surface somewhere and go to page 39. And you see we've got 12A and 12B. So these are more exercises with just those notes. And again, we're slurring these. So this is really building up our breath support. So go ahead and get your flute one more time. And we're going to do 12A. So about 1, 2, 1, 2, ready. Good. So then once that feels really secure, we can move on to 12B. Again, this is just another exercise with those same 3 notes, just in different patterns. All right, so starting on D and getting a really great breath and sitting up nice and tall. 1, 2, ready. Great work. And if you need more review, feel free to repeat any of those exercises again. So put your flute back down on a safe, flat surface, and let's go back to page 7. And we're going to do number 13, which is a duet. So for number 13 here, I will play both parts with a steady tempo, and then I would encourage you to try to play both parts with me as well, so you can make a duet for yourself. All right, so I will start with part A on this one. And again, it's just those same 3 notes that we've been doing. We're separating with that light do tongue in between each one and making sure that we get a really great breath at every breath mark. So tempo-wise, let's go about 1, 2, 1, 2, ready. All right, that's part A. So let's do the same thing, part B. And you can play along with this and then we'll divide parts, okay? So part B, 1, 2, ready. And then if you go back, you can play the other part with my recording. All right, let's finish this page. Number 14, go for excellence. So we've got those same 3 notes, just in different patterns here. This should be nice and easy, okay? So number 14, 1, 2, 1, 2, good breath. Nicely done. And with that, you have successfully completed the first 4 pages of Standard of Excellence.